sided with the villain in movies, and maybe she thought like that's actually productive or something. Like those are the people that get the real results, like kind of like Gordon Gekko type shit. Like greed is good, but I don't know. You laughing? Well, yeah, that's sort of what it feels like. It's like it's weird. Um, I don't know, and I think there's like maybe some acting ambition in my mother too, where it's like she like wants, she likes theatrics, she likes drama, and that's a feature of narcissism, where people do that. But I don't know. But yeah, look, I don't want to make you upset. It's just that like when I'm around these people, it's like I have to like really close myself off, and I have to like close the flower petals, and I have to like go into my room and just not talk. And and then like my mom was having this conversation, and she does this thing where like you can tell her something, and she will like come at you the next day and act like you never said that to her, um, or like they know that I've been applying for jobs, they know that, but it's like they she brought it up again, and like um, she's always looking for some reason to like sort of criticize you, and she's like, well, but you're not leaving the house, that kind of thing. And it's like I can't leave the house, and we live in that this house is suburbia, so it's like anything. If I want to get anywhere, I can't walk anywhere. I don't have a car, so it's a 30-minute drive. And my parents seem to think that like at 32, it's sensible to like, oh, but we'll drive you. It's like I don't want you to drive me. I don't want that. Just let me drive one of your cars. I have a license. I've been driving for fucking like 15 years. And it's like, oh well, I have to like check with my insurance. Once again, meanwhile, my sister comes down. I let her drive the car. I've said that before, but um, yeah, it's like I think like with my dad and with my mom too. Maybe it's like they're kind of like lying to me. Like they're just like they think they have to trick me, that kind of thing. Which drives me insane because it's like you shouldn't be lying to your kids. Um, and I think they've been like that for a long time because I think they, when I was younger, it's like, well, kids don't need to know everything, and like, yeah, maybe that's true, but like, you don't need to like lie to them. But I think they've like carried on this behavior into my adulthood too. What? Yeah, my mom's like that. Yeah, and like, yeah, I prefer transparency. Like I always think about this, like with my kids, what when I have them, if I have them, or whatever. Like what I want to do is like very early on, I want to like straight up just like show them like my bank account. I want to be like, and I want to show them like how I spend my money, and what it's like to have like a credit card, and like to check out like all my purchases. I'll show them like, here, this is what I like bought today or whatever, and like you can kind of see like how much money things typically cost or whatever, you know, and explain to them like all these different things, like here's how much money like we actually have, and like here's how I make it. Hopefully by then I'll be fucking rich, so I'll be like, here's all my income sources and all this different stuff. I want to like really explain to my children like this is how I did it. This is what's really going on. Um, Instead of like this sort of like black box, like, oh yeah, we have money, don't worry about it. Like I don't think that's very productive. Um, and my mom would say things like, it's just funny. Like she'd always say, like, one of these days I'm going to show you how to like balance a checkbook. She never did. Never happened. I don't, and it's completely irrelevant now. It's not a relevant skill, but maybe she didn't know that. Um, I mean, I don't think she did. Maybe once. Um, but she would tell me some things like, oh, you want to get like a 401k, like Roth IRA, that kind of stuff. Um, which is good. Um, but like she's very secretive about her money. not tell me how much they have. And I remember when I was a kid, my parents, my dad would always say, like, if I wanted to do something, he would say, like, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. And meanwhile, we had like granite countertops, you know, like fancy furniture and all this different shit. Um, so I don't know. I'm kind of scared saying this. Um, I just felt like it was a lie, and I felt like my father, he would do this thing, and he still does this. And like I realized it last year when I was trying to sign up for like social services to get like food stamps, and I got rejected for them. And he's like, just go in there, like just lie a little bit, you know. And I think my father's the kind of person who he kind of like thinks it's sensible to sort of like stretch the truth to just like get what you want, and he will do that with his own kids. He'll do that. He'll just be like, oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what's going on. It just kind of happened. What, I don't know, whatever. And it's a lie. You know, you don't do that. I remember my father has been overweight for decades, and what is it? I was like, we had to take my dog to like a vet that was like an hour away because that's what it's like over here. Maybe you can relate to, like if you're where you were. No. Oh yeah. Well, my parents are crazy. They always, yeah. Well, down here is fucking, it's nuts here. Um, but so I went with him because I'm like trying to kind of like bond with this guy, and conversation got to his weight at one point, and I'm like, are you like restricting calories? And I told him, like, because at that point I went, I did a whole weight loss thing. I lost like 35 pounds, not that much weight, but it's still significant. So I like was like, okay, well I know how to do it now. Okay, cool. And I told him it's basically just all calories, and you just got to track what you're eating and blah blah blah. I'm like, do you like do that stuff? Do you like, I don't know exactly what I said, but it's like, are you like restricting your calories? Blah blah blah. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like that kind of like a thing. What? Well, I feel like if you are overweight, it's pretty simple. It's like just like you just need to stop eating so much. Yeah, maybe, but probably what was going on is just he's just like eating a lot. Like I remember my family is pretty fond of pasta, and pasta, the calories creep up on you. Like you can have a bowl of pasta, and it's an enormous amount of calories, and I didn't even know that. Because like you can eat it, and it's not like super filling maybe, but the, you just keep adding more, and it's a lot of calories if you have like spaghetti or something, because of the wheat, you know. And we'd eat that shit all the time. And my dad, he would probably like snack or something. And you know, I also see in the outside fridge here in their garage that he has this like meal replacement drink, um, which I would not be surprised if those are pretty high calories. And he's probably like he might be drinking those while he's eating regular food. So that's just gonna add calories to your day. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of like making excuses kind of thing, and that behavior rubbed off on me uh, in my life. So I would do stuff like that. And it's really bad because like you get this kind of like feeling where it's like, well, it's kind of like you against the world, so you have to kind of do whatever you can to get what you need and get what you want. And that's a horrible thing to do because you start lying to everybody, and you don't need to tell everybody everything, but you know, I don't think you should lie either. And also, if it comes to like you start lying to yourself, that's really bad. Because then you can end up with things. Oh, I don't know what happened. You sort of like convince yourself of stuff, and it's like meanwhile you're just gaining all this weight and shit. Um, So I poke at you? What do you mean? I don't know. That's exactly why. And with you, um, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it's sort of just like, yeah, it's kind of like a different sort of thing. Um, like my mom would do all these white lies all the time, and I guess makes me kind of like not trust women because I just sort of think like women are just doing that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That was always the feeling I got with my parents, though, was that it's always like they're like keeping things from me, and they're telling me one thing, whereas the reality is a different situation. And I would always get this feeling like I'm like crazy or like there's something wrong with me, and nobody's telling me what it is. That's a horrible feeling. Because it would always sort of like change when I was there, and the whole family would do that. Actually, even my sister, or I don't know, maybe she'd just go along with it. Um, That's a lot of stuff. But I don't know. Look, I was just really upset before, and um, it just I had this conversation with my mom, where she's just like, she just like brings up, she tries to find a weak point, and she just shoves her finger right the fuck in there, and she thinks she's doing a good thing. Like she thinks like this is productive, this is a good thing, you know. But I think she just gets satisfaction, sort of cutting people down, and she was doing that to me, and then we were having a conversation, you and and I just felt like I was just sharing an opinion, and then you start like coming at me with all this stuff, and I was like, dude, like it's okay, we disagree maybe, but I was just like, I just can't.